Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
Rebelo, 92.1 City, baby. Winnipeg's rock station. Philly, Joe, and Kirby. Kirby is away, and what a time for her to be away. It is different types of nasty every day, cold, blowing, snow, crappy road conditions. Got this on the Boston Pizza text line. Route 90's a skating rink. Be careful out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know when it looks slippery, when the roads, like for example, Lage and Abenoji, looked shiny this morning, so as I was coming up to a light, so I'd slowed down to about 40 or 50, just did that brake touch just to see, and of course the truck went a little sideways, like you could tell it's like, okay, the shiny road means what I thought. It's very slippery, so definitely take it easy this morning.
And that's on the main thoroughfares. So, you're definitely going to have to be aware this morning because of those cold winds we've had over the last couple of days, too. Listen, it'll be the number one topic of discussion among strangers today. Whether you're in an elevator, an escalator, or just walking through somewhere, people will be talking about the weather still, just because it's been a little goofy the last few days.
Without the weather, really, how would we start conversation? Sports has to be number two. If I had to go with, a top three, I don't even know what the third would be. Sports, weather. Those are your big two. Starting small talk, I guess maybe.
What would be number three? Politics.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just throwing out there. What else would be the big buzz right now?
I know what you're getting at. Maybe, but maybe less than ever people want to talk about politics.
Well,
I guess it depends on how well you think because it can start an argument or a tense conversation really fast now.
Absolutely, it could.
Boston Pizza text line. What would be number three in there? What about like travel plans?
I thought about that. That
you getting away this winter?
That could. Yeah, that probably is. That's probably a good branch off of the weather.
Someone says holidays.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Vacation. Sure.
Kids, but you have to know the person has kids. Then
I got to tell you,
how's the kids? I don't have any. Oh.
It was pretty interesting following Kirby, too, on social media because, we want to make sure, she got there okay and everything else, right? And she, I guess, got there Monday night. So her first full day would have been yesterday in Cuba. Mm-hmm. But it was just funny to see how it all laid out because Kirby fell right into the vacation trap of pictures. One of the first ones.
She's hot and heavy on the photos, yeah.
Was just sitting around and posting basically about the resort, how they have little cats living on the resort, right, that take care of some of the rodent problems, right? And she was feeding the cats because she's a cat lover, which was kind of interesting. And then she had the standard picture of the hotel room where they, fold the towels, the maid service.
Yeah, you got to have
and
that.
everything. You got to have that picture. Yeah. And then she had the full description as if I went to like the Centennial Concert Hall for a travel seminar on Cuba. And she wrote, I just loved it because it
I didn't see that.
No, it was awesome because it goes, Cuba. If you love white beaches, blue water, and I'm going, yes. And then she goes, it's a communist country that's under an embargo, so food has been rationed. And I'm going, you're at an all-inclusive resort, and you're getting the propaganda about why you can't get chicken tenders at a resort or something. I thought it was pretty funny.
We love Curbs. That reminds me of the time she told us about such things as Winnipeg Beach, as if we'd never been there.
Yeah.
Well, the beach, it's got sand and water.
Philly, Joe, Kirby.
Philly, Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly, Joe and Kirby podcast.
I believe could be, let's hope it's a new regular, Pissed Off Traffic Lady.
Hey, this is Pissed Off in Traffic, and...
Sorry, Pissed Off in Traffic is the handle, not Pissed Off. Yeah.
Hey, this is Pissed Off in Traffic, and I just want to say to people, do not block the box. If you can't clear the intersection, don't enter it, because the rest of us don't want to be sitting there watching our green light go by because you thought it was a good idea to get in the middle of the intersection. You're not the only one that has work to get to. Get a clue, get your head out of you-know-where, learn the rules of the road, period. New York City, you can get ticketed and towed for that.
Okay. Love it.
Got to be a coach. I like that. There was some good coach cadence there, too.
Yeah.
Right?
She was
brought up the box and everything. Like, it was good.
She was strong. That wasn't the first speech, like lecture-esque speech she's given. Either a coach, a mom maybe, I don't know, but she was good.
That speech is happening in her vehicle on a regular basis.
Okay, here's Rooster. A couple days in a row, or at least second time this week.
Holy Winnipeg. Rooster here. Why am I going 45 down Lash? Like, in the left-hand lane, there is a Tesla Y with dual motor, which means it has 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. And in the right-hand lane, I got a Civic and a bunch of dumb that can't use a goddamn merge. Who the gave you your licenses? Did you get from a cereal box?
Be neat if your license came in a cereal box. Digging, you remember the old days, digging through the cereal box for the prize?
Yeah, absolutely. Could you imagine?
Oh, man. Okay.
Where did you get your license? I really did. It was a cereal
It was
box.
great. It was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Vector.
Young Gun the other day. Young Gun was talking about he was complaining about people who were driving too slow in the blizzard on Friday, correct?
Yeah.
I believe that was him.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, Philly, Joe, and Kirby. I'm calling because I absolutely need to respond to the caller, called himself the youngster. Philly, I think you called him Young Gun. And I got to pull out one of my dad's classic lines. You need to stop talking about something you know nothing about. You're on the roads at 3 in the afternoon on Friday during that storm. You don't have a clue what it was like at 9 in the morning when all those accidents were happening. People going too slow. Come on. I have been on the roads, winter roads, for over 35 years. And that storm is up there with some of the worst I have ever driven in my entire life. I'm surprised that there weren't more accidents.
Okay.
Well, what was the number you had, MPI reporting?
Over
Accidents in the news?
500.
That was just Friday.
Yeah. Over 500 collision claims around Manitoba.
That's going to, the auto body industry numbers just went up.
Yeah, no doubt. That's crazy. Okay, let's wrap up with this one. And who knew the hooligan doesn't like squirrels, and he most certainly doesn't like the TV at the office and what's playing on it all the time.
Another thing that I don't know what's going on with this world. So at work we have a TV that shows stuff about the company and other things around, and it's supposed to be interesting, which I find is bullshit. So this, for those of you who did not know, today is International Appreciation Squirrel Day. Like, are you kidding me? We're supposed to appreciate a rat that lives in the trees? Like, I don't know what's going on with this world. International Appreciation Squirrel Day.
Don't be asking the hooligan to appreciate squirrels.
He's lucky Kirby's not here
Oh,
today.
my. Oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Boston Pizza text line on the topic of small talk. We got chatting about that right off the top of the show this morning. Xenia says, what small talk? Everyone is wearing earbuds these days.
You'll see a lot of that for sure.
And we, basically, Joe and I came up with 1 and 2 as far as small talk. And we're talking like you get on an elevator or you're in a waiting room. These are things like you don't know the person. And the first 2 are so easy. Weather and sports. Always.
I'll tell you what the number 3 topic seems to be in small talk today. What's the AC/DC song of the day? It's coming up a lot on the Boston Pizza text line. And I'll tell you what, it's going to come up a few times today. And the first time you're going to hear it is after 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And the song, Thunderstruck.
After 7.
In the,
Thunderstruck. That's what you're listening for. When you hear it, 762-555. What are you texting? Your name?
Well, the word win,
The win.
W-I-N, and your name.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Some other small talk, like as we look for number 3, because number 1 and 2 are easy. Again, the weather and sports. But we got gas prices. That's a pretty, like, if that's not 3, it's in the top 5.
That's a bit of a gut punch this last couple of days, too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you've been running the snowblower on the on the extra as well.
I have a snow thrower, and it's battery operated, and it's awesome. One of the best purchases I've made in my life.
Can you believe we have the same one?
I couldn't believe that you had the same one I bought around Christmas.
That's right.
I use mine, but I feel like I use mine a lot more than you use yours.
Yeah. I just use it in the back to throw the snow. So my dog Stewie, who's a Frenchie, so he's not. He's a little low on the ground. He has a path in the backyard. I have a snow service that I use for the driveway.
That's right.
And the sidewalk.
So I had a lot, and shout out to everybody who gave me this advice, because for years I was talking about getting a snowblower, and I was like, should I get one of these big ones or get a smaller one? Because and a lot of people said, listen, depends on how much snow you have to remove from your property. But if you're just doing like a driveway and you want to use it a couple times a day for smaller levels of snow, which is how I operate, get a smaller one. Get one of these battery-operated throwers, and that's what I bought. And I use mine all the time, whereas I find people on my street that have the big, giant snowblowers almost never pull theirs out because you need that massive dump to use those.
Right.
So I love it.
I've got some good neighbors, too. There's been a couple of times one of my neighbors, Mike, who's about 7 houses down, came and did my driveway once during a storm.
Yeah, I've had that.
Nice guys.
My buddy, my neighbor Daryl has used the big snowblower. He's a beauty. Love it. So, yeah, we're getting lots of comments about the small talk on video games. Like to talk about those.
Crime.
Okay. How about that crime out there? I guess, yeah.
Well, there's been enough, that you'll hear about. I could see that. I could see crime being one of them.
Well, remember we learned about Kirby, who's away this week, in a waiting room at a doctor's office. Will actually ask people what they're there for, which seemed amazing to me, because that is typically not something I would want somebody asking me. So what are you here for?
What are you going to hold up your shirt for half the second? Show them this mole. Well, I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
but if you, as a stranger, have an opinion on what it might be, I'd love to hear it.
What do you think
before I see the doctor.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Would you rather Wednesday? Would you rather Wednesday?
All right, with Kirby away, I will weigh in on these as well, and we'll also rely heavily on the Boston Pizza text line 762-555. You want to play along? We love it. Joe, would you rather have to wear roller skates everywhere you go, or wear a snorkel and flippers everywhere you go? So you're not at a resort like Kirby is right now with the snorkel and flippers, where it would look pretty normal. You just wear it everywhere, or roller skating.
That would be interesting with the weather we've had over the last couple of weeks on the roller skates. But I'll tell you what, probably less of a conversation than having to explain the snorkel and the flippers all the time. Yeah. I can't go bare feet all year.
Well, you could say
just indoors.
You could say, well, I've got scuba diving class, like right after the show.
Yeah, and then they'd be going, well, why are you wearing them now?
Because you want to be ready. It's like wearing your gym clothes to work. You want to be ready to go. You don't want to have to change after the show before you go for your scuba diving class.
That's true.
You came ready.
That's a tough one. But I'm still going to go with rollerblades.
Roller skates.
Skates. Sorry, skates. I think it'll be easier to get around in than flippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are tough. Like walking around in those is not easy.
And never mind how cold it is now. Imagine those on like a 30-degree day where like you're sticking to the asphalt with the rubber from the flipper. Every step you take.
No, they are not practical at all. Not meant.
How about this?
Snorkel.
Could you imagine grocery shopping and roller skates?
Grabbing shelves to try to stop you, knocking things down.
That might be a good contest one day.
I think so.
A grocery grab on roller skates.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it.
Would you rather, Joe, be reincarnated? We've had the reincarnation. I like them. Would you rather be reincarnated as a hyena or a raccoon? And this would be right up Kirby's alley if she were here. I think she'd go raccoon. She loves raccoons.
That would be the life, really, raccoon. I've had some visit the house, like a whole family of them. Unwanted. But I mean, listen, they make their way into anything. They eat anything, and I'm very picky as an eater.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
Right out of the garbage.
And they basically sleep all day. That's not bad. They go out at night. right?
Yeah.
A hyena is just a bad rap because, they just don't sound like a good animal.
No.
They
And
probably
they're-
don't get as much respect as a raccoon.
And what do they do in life? They wait for like lions to do the hunting and finish off the animal, and then they run in there, and they're always pissing lions off too. You see those videos all the
Yeah,
time.
and all I remember is hearing about a laughing hyena, and it's irritating.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with the raccoon.
I think I would agree with that one. Yep. Moving along, would you rather be able to visit any time period in history, Joe, or be able to visit any place in the world? So the time period, that would be time machine stuff. And then visiting a place in the world, you're just like flying there.
I think just out of the experience, because, you talk to any young people now and they use that word experience a lot. Now it's about traveling and experiencing stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I would go with the timepiece, I think.
That'd be neat, eh?
I think so, just because I'm a little older. So if I want to travel, that's the easy part. But getting back to a place that I'd never been able to experience as an adult,
Yeah.
that's what I would like to do.
I think that'd be pretty neat as well. Okay, let's wrap up with this one here, Joe. Would you rather have a clown follow you everywhere you go or a mime following you around mimicking your actions?
Oh,
So they're like your hype person. They go everywhere you go.
I think a clown, because a clown you could have some fun with, and at least there's nothing that's going to annoy me about a clown as much as somebody behind you like mimicking you the whole time. Like
Mime.
that gets old fast. I think. Mind you, they are quiet.
So you're going clown.
Yeah. Plus they do the over exaggerating footsteps and everything around you. No, I got to go clown.
You know who couldn't be a mime is our good friend Kirby.
No chance.
No.
No
Because
chance.
I think you get fired from being a mime if you start talking. Like
Yeah,
that, you can't do
yeah.
it.
That's probably the one job requisite, actually. And you got to be able to put your hand out flat, pretending you got a wall in front of you.
That's the two
Those
big
two
ones.
things.
That's the two first things you learn.
If you go to mime school and you can't get through day one, it's those two things.
She'd be gone so fast. That's Would You Rather Wednesday.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
And the nominees for the best of the worst of cinema, the awards known as the Razzies, were released yesterday, with the Joker sequel leading the pack. Joker, Folie à Deux, scored 7 nominations, including Worst Actor and Actress for stars Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, respectively. The winners will be announced the day before the Academy Awards ceremony.
You know, that's funny is it comes up all the time on the guide, right, to say, and I just keep avoiding it because we've heard how bad it is. And sometimes I'll still watch a movie to find out for myself, but I can't seem to get that one started.
Let's be clear. You and I really only ignore the reviews, the Rotten Tomatoes, when Liam Neeson is involved.
That's when I ignore.
That we were like
Yes.
31 on Rotten Tomatoes. Who
Doesn't
cares?
matter.
Liam's in it. We're still going to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe Jason Statham, too.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
like
stay them.
well,
There's a couple movies, they'll get like
Sure.
2 stars. I don't care. He's the beekeeper, for crying out loud.
Sounds awesome.
You got to watch The Beekeeper.
I do. Hey, you
It's
vouch
good.
for that one.
I liked
Okay.
it.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Much earlier this morning, roller skating came up. It was in Would You Rather. Something to do with would you rather roller skate everywhere you go? Or wear roller skates everywhere you go or scuba gear.
It sounds like a roller skating kind of day out there traffic-wise, but yeah.
And Joe, you chose roller skating. So did I. Just
To be honest, I should have taken the other option because I don't skate at all.
Yeah.
So it would have been a lot easier to put the flippers on. I already got big feet. And
the visual
walk
of you in the flippers and the snorkel walking around is pretty good, I will say. Rachel, when we were talking about that, Rachel sent us a message and said, this is on the text line, remember when Superstore had people running around on roller skates? I guess be skating around on roller skates. And do you remember that?
no, I don't, actually.
Like
But,
staff that work their stocking shelves.
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, wonder
would be
why they ever.
interesting.
And we got a couple of those messages. Remember when Superstore had staff members? How fast would that be, though? You can see why they came up with that idea. Like, you could just see that backroom meeting. Well, what if we, we're not getting shelves stocked fast enough. What if we put our staff on rollerblades, and I think it was rollerblades.
I'll take it a step further. How about when the staff had finished stocking the shelves and all of a sudden they're using it as an obstacle course now?
Yeah. Blasting around.
Blasting around.
But I guarantee you, or like I don't know this for a fact, but because they don't do it anymore, it had to be one of them like smashing into a shelf of apples.
That's it. And the apples are flying everywhere.
And they're injured.
Yeah. Wow, what's up with the apples this week? They're all bruised.
Oh, right. Or somebody got injured, like rammed into a woman just trying to do her grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You can imagine. You got your cart, it's packed up with the groceries for the weekend. Boom, some kid trying to stock shelves slams into your cart. I don't think it was in the 70s. The butcher's like it was in the 70s. I remember the rollerblades more recently than the 70s. Like
I don't remember them, but I never really shopped at Superstore. Was it Super Value back then? I had buddies that used to work at Super Value.
I think it was Superstore.
By then it was Superstore.
Someone will tell us. I want two things. I want to know how long ago that was because I don't think it was that long ago.
Right.
And I want to hear from somebody who used to do that job and how fun that used to be.
Oh, that would be good.
Ripping around on rollerblades.
I had a buddy that worked for a certain grocer, I believe, and back in the day had a bag of flour fall on his foot.
Oh.
He was off work for about 3 weeks, and we worked almost hard. A bag of flour, like you're embarrassed to take the time
that
off.
could hurt, though.
No, he told us it could hurt.
It was Super Value. This just came in. It was Super Value. I distinctly remember the one on Gateway, and they had rollerblades putting stock stuff away.
And then you've got the Superstore. So you're hearing both. Super Value was the original name, of course, before they changed it to Superstore. But so this person reminds them well into the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I had the rollerblades.
I had a friend who worked at Superstore on St. Anne's, and they wore rollerblades every shift. It's amazing.
The odd diner used to have them outside too, right? A&W at one time. They used to bring the food out
Classic.
that way. It used to be Super Value on Grant. That was
I used to stock shelves overnight, and I would skate around on the jacks. Oh, that's the jacks, though. That's different, right?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Dangerous, it seems, but
so we're getting more Super Values.
Okay. But we did get some about the 2000s, too, with the rollerblades. Do you remember Food Barn?
Yeah.
Really, the bulk?
Yeah.
That's my mom used to shop there.
Well, now there are no frills.
Yeah.
There's other names of...
But I hated it because she would get... you get your peanut butter out of a big drum and put it in a container.
Scoop it into
and then
a
put
container,
a lid on it.
put a lid on it.
What is this, Mom? I want like Skippy or
you want
Kraft
you want
butter.
a brand name for peanut butter.
I don't want a tub with no name on it for my peanut butter.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It had the yellow and black, right, label.
No, there was no label on it
at all.
This was Food Barn Classic.
Then you'd go home, your mom would use some masking tape and put peanut butter on it so you knew what it was.
That's right.
Awesome.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Okay, Phil, here we go. Would you consider yourself the average guy?
I think so, yeah.
I would think so, too.
I'm not above average, that's for sure.
Well, here's the deal. You could be used as a lifeline at least 5 times because today's question, the average guy will try out 6 of these before making a purchase.
6 of these before making a purchase. 780 City. 780-2484. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Joe, shout out to Jabroni's Hardcore Wrestling Store.
Oh, yeah, that hasn't been around in a while, but yes, I do miss those days talking wrestling with people. Thank you.
Throwback. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, sure. The average guy will try out 6 of these before making a purchase.
Red Dragon, help me out.
Red Dragon for the win.
6 of these.
The average guy's going to try out 6 of these before making the purchase.
Let's go with a vehicle.
Number 4.
Damn.
Number 4.
I tried.
All right, thanks, guys.
You have a good day.
Well, hey, you hit one of the top 5. That's doesn't happen every guess.
Yeah, because you'll look online and then you'll go into the dealership.
It's become a lot easier now, too, if I think the consumer is more educated, right, going in, because you can do your research on a certain type of vehicle before you even go into the place.
Agreed. Good morning, City.
Hey, is it baseball caps or hats?
No. Hats are not on the top 5, but that would make sense, too, for sure.
I thought that, too. Good guess.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a good day. For Leonard Skinner tickets this morning, 780 City, 780-2484. Hello.
Hey, is it colognes or scents?
It is not. No.
I remember going to the Bay before you went to a party, and you and 5 or 6 buddies splashing on all that cologne at the counter there.
Like I'll tell you, it was like walking through a lineup of people, right? But you put your wrists out to get sprayed.
That's right. And you always play the prank on that one buddy. You go up behind him with the cheap cologne and soak him in it.
Right into the material.
Yeah.
It stays with you.
Good morning, City.
Golf driver.
Oh, that's a great guess. Yeah. No. I'll tell you what, you're the closest guess we've had.
So a golf driver is the closest guess we've had.
Yeah, but not golf. Don't think golf.
Is it a sport, Joe?
It could be.
Sport. Good morning.
Hi. Is it shoes or runners?
That is number 5, believe it or not.
Roller skates?
So we've hit, no, not even in the top 5. Can't believe it.
Well, you said it was a sport. What if the guy's doing roller derby? Litter Skinner tickets on the line this morning with completely useless trivia. Go ahead.
Women.
The average guy will try out 6 of these before he makes the purchase.
Wow. He loved that one.
He loved it. No.
Back in my day, let me tell you.
I just had to make sure I reread the question first.
Trying out some women. Hi there.
Hi. I was going to say skates.
Skates is not the answer, but you're the warmest guest we've had now.
I think I know.
Skates make sense, too.
Oh, yeah. Although a lot of these kids have their brands now. Yeah. They've been playing for a few years. Hi, City.
Hey, guys. How's it going this morning?
Good.
All right, Red Dragon, help me out.
Red Dragon for the win.
Well, I've been to, Royal Sports, for example, and watched both my kids try out hockey stick after hockey stick after hockey stick until they make a decision.
Yeah. They say the average guy is trying out about 6 twigs before they make the purchase. And I can guarantee you 99% of those purchases will be the most expensive stick out of all the twigs they try. No matter how much they touch the puck in a game, they got to have the most expensive twig. And I turn it over to the hockey expert next to me. Phil, is that true?
They never pick the cheaper one. Absolutely never.
I just went through that this weekend, so I understand what you're saying all too well. Yeah?
You're still looking for a part-time job then, eh? To pay for the hockey equipment. Well, at least we saved you some money with the Leonard Skinner tickets, courtesy of Phil Aubrey.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Got a text message from my buddy Dave. He says, the number one job for the Superstore people on roller skates back in the day was price checks because they figured it would be faster and more convenient to have someone do that rather than walk and find the price. So that makes...
We're hearing that from a lot of people.
So yeah,
that did it.
When you're in line and the person in front of you, I think this was on sale.
Yes.
That always happens. Well, now she can pick up the phone, the lady
price check,
and the kid comes cruising in with the rollerblades, and it's super fast to go look in the aisle. No, that wasn't on sale.
We're not hearing about too many accidents, though, with the rollerbladers. We asked about that, too.
We got a pretty good one, actually. The chicken grease.
Yes. Someone dropped the grilled chicken.
I got to find
a roasted chicken.
Somebody.
It's a little greasy on the floor.
By the way, the splat of one of those rotisserie chickens, if they fall out.
It would have been like like curling. That thing would have slid.
Oh, yeah.
Hurry hard, hurry.
You could punt that sucker. You could if you're a field goal kicker. Anyway, so it falls, splat, and then the person picked it up, or I don't know what they did with the greasy chicken, but then one of these rollerbladers doing a price check came cruising through and wiped out really hard on the chicken grease.
No kidding. Oh, man, that would have been brutal.
So you just know these grocery stores eventually decided that it was, I guess Superstore, because I don't remember seeing it at Safeway, or I think it was mainly a Superstore thing. They eventually decided it was just too dangerous for the rollerbladers.
Yeah, and then listen, all you need is a parent. If there's going to be a price checker in your house, like not as a job, as a side hustle, it was my dad. In our house, it was my dad. Like still to this day at 84, it'll be something totally irrelevant to me. Like I'm not buying a plant or something, and he'll go, I don't know. I just saw the Walmart, the plants. they're 47 cents cheaper at Home Depot or whatever. And it's like, okay, Dad, but he got out for the day, right, doing something.
I will not this is bad, I know, but even if I'm
price check,
no, like if the staff member is at the checkout is
Yes.
running my items through, and I notice that I think something was off on one of the prices, I won't say anything
to the cashier.
No. I don't know what, like, I'm not talking about a $50 difference, but
you're not buying strawberries or grapes right now for, the extra $10. Like, you're just talking about a few cents here.
Well,
and
if
there.
I thought, I read that a pizza was $5.99 and she rings it through and it's $8.99, my wife for sure, she would be like, that is not, she's looking at that screen. She sees everything going through there.
Yeah.
And she's not alone. A lot of people are like that. But me, I guess I screwed up. I'm not going to question the cashier.
I've never looked at the receipts either, right? But I'll tell you, Christy does, and she finds errors all the time.
I know.
And then I think I'm too scared to find the error because then I know I got to bring it back in and go to customer service. But listen, when you're talking,
holding up the line too.
I'm just going to backtrack the conversation a little bit. You did mention pizza. And you're talking frozen pizzas. If you're going to tell me it was Giuseppe or Dr. Oetker.
Dr. Oetker, that doctor, a doctor of pizza.
I would question the doctor, okay? I would question what kind of degree this Dr. Oetker has if it came to frozen pizza.
Joe, would you stop questioning Dr. Oetker? The guy's a doctor.
I know a lot of legitimate doctors. I'm wondering about this one.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.